KURINJI Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
Free bus for LKG to 8th standard.
Free, hygienic and nutritious food.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
KURINJI Educational Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.in.
Dear students, in this video session, I would like to start a new chapter, that one structural organization in the animals. Okay, before starting off these structural organization of animals, now I will give a brief previous video recollection of previous videos. In the previous videos, animal kingdom classification we seen, and that animal kingdom several group of phylums of invertebrate phyla from the protozoa onwards up to chordata. In the chordata several clauses, the general characteristics we completed. Okay, so first session, first chapter, one chapter in the 11th standard successfully we completed. So now the second chapter I am started with the structural organization. In this structural organization of the animals, when you see in the one organism, whether that organism may be unicellular or multicellular, whatever it is, that organism body tissues, what type of tissues are they, that we should be know. Now in this chapter, structural organization of animals, I am tell about animal tissues. Now all the students got it, what topic is we are discussing, understand kada? We will go on discussion with this board explanation. See Nana, animal tissues. Okay, here animal may be unicellular or multicellular. Na idikku munnade sollittan. Some of the animals body possessing with unicellular. When you take protozoa organism body is a unicell. Apart of that protozoa, porifera, when you coming the second phylum of the animal kingdom, porifera, that is a multicellular. Many more number of cells are there. So based on that, here animals how they are, their body different type of tissues, how they are possessing different type of tissues. Now especially in this chapter, advanced organisms, example, our body, what type of tissues are they, what are their functions, that want to know. So that only here I mentioned animal tissues. When you thinking about the tissues, tissue means a group of cells, but sometimes here organism body acellular, only single cell. Cellular means multi-cell, acellular means single cell. Example, paramecium, okay, amoeba, these and all. Cellular means multicellular. That multicellular nature only in the scientifically we called as a metazoa. That metazoa again divided into eumetazoa. Eumetazoa means real cells. Real tissue formation is called eumetazoa. So here what is the use of these cells? See Nana, a living organism must be shows some of the life process activities. In the 10th standard, you studied digestion and respiration, excretion and circulation. Along with that, how do organism reproduce? These are the chapters you studied. I think so. Digestion, respiration, excretion, these chapters only you studied, and then reproductive activities. Because if one organism want to maintain their life a little time or long time, these three things must be necessary. Which three things? Digestion and respiration, excretion is must be necessary. Reproductive activity useful for continuation of their species on the earth, that is one of the activity. But without reproduction organism can survive, but without digestion, respiration, excretion, organism cannot survive. Okay, these are the primary functions. This is the secondary function to continue of their offsprings or next generation people on the next evolutionary way. Okay, for the evolution or continuation. So here the cells are to perform the digestion, respiration, excretion, reproductive events, these and all. Now whether body of organism is a acellular or a single cell, all the functions are done with the help of the only one single cell. But multicellular is not like that. It must be sharing of their work. Whether you remembered or not, I don't know. Simply in the beginning of the video classes, I said one example. That example, at your house, at your home, totally 5 members, your family members are 5. Okay, one marriage occasion wise, except you, remaining all are went to the marriage occasion. Okay, then on that they went for 5 days. In the total 5 days, you only stay at your house. Now at your house, all the functions, all the activities are done by yourself. Cooking yourself and washing cloth yourself, and then house cleaning totally yourself. So more burden to you to do it of all the works. Now after 5 days, your family members are returned to your home. Now next day what will happen? That work will be partition. Your sister will do some of the work, okay, and then your father will do some work, your mother will do some work. So what happened? Sharing of work. That only significance here. When the organism is to change the acellular nature to cellularic nature or multicellular, the functions will be partitions. That one explanation wise, in the science they are using the one word, dignity of labor, division of labor. That means partition of their work, division of labor. Okay, understand? Then the proper definition of the tissue. I think 9th standard you studied these tissue word. Okay, you discuss all the definition also. A group of cells, that a group of cells are arising from the same region, origin from the same region of embryo, which also perform a specific function. A specific function mean whether that specific function may be digestion or may be respiration or may be excretion. Okay, so a group of cells are doing are performing a specific function. Now you need some explanation. See, Nana, focus about my voice only. When our digestive system cells are not at involving any respiration. Lungs not at involving anything work in the digestion. Okay, and reproductive activity organs are not at involving any other work. So here in our body, one organ is made up of the one type of tissues. That tissues are doing a specific function. So now you got idea about the tissue, a group of cells that arising from the same origin. I think so you are getting something doubt, same origin in which place. Now I will tell in this diagram. See in this diagram, pointer place, I will tell about origin, regarding origin. Then that origin cells are doing a specific function. Okay, definition understand? Then study of the tissues we called as a histology. Study of tissue we called as a histology. And then this histology also called as a microanatomy. Anatomy means with scissor if you cut your body or any some other organism body, the internal arrangement of the organs, that is anatomy. Okay, in the internal organs what type of tissue is there, if you discuss now, that is called microanatomy. Micro means somewhat of little smaller than the anatomy, so microanatomy. Microanatomy time we have to study about, known about these tissues. Got it now? Now see Nana, a tissue is made up of, when you think or when you discussing about tissues means two things is there. One is cells, many more cells, that many more cells, in between the cells something space is there. What it is there in the space, that is the next matter. Okay, that space fixed with or having something fluid item. That fluid item we call as a extracellular matrix. Extracellular matrix. These extracellular matrix cells combinedly we call as a tissue. Okay, one. Now these tissues in our body, especially advanced organisms body, 4 type of tissues are there. 9th standard concept, recall once. Now 4 type of tissues are present in advanced organisms. One is a epithelial, pointer place focus it na epithelial tissue. Second one nervous tissue. Third one connective tissue. Fourth one muscular tissue. Okay, epithelial tissue, nervous tissue, connective tissue and muscular tissue. Now in this time I will recall these definition. Tissue means a group of cells that we understand, arising from the or origin from the a same or region. Now come here I will explain. Embryonic developmentation of advanced organisms, they are having the triploblastic. Animal kingdom explanation time I said triploblastic. Triploblastic meaning 3 germinal layers if it is present, that is called triploblastic conditions. What are the triploblastic? One is a ecto, second one is a mesoderm, another one is a endo. Pink ectoderm, yellow mesoderm and blue color endoderm. Got it now? Now with the help of these 3 germinal layers, these 4 type of tissues will be produced. In our body totally composing with these 4 type of tissues. These 4 type of tissues are origin from these 3 layers. Okay, that only meaning same region, whether that may be ectoderm, that may be mesoderm, that may be endoderm. In our body, any organ origin from either any one of layer influence. Okay, for example, if you take a heart is a mesodermal origin. Okay, if you take muscle is a mesodermal. For understanding wise I mentioned there. Ectoderm onwards nervous tissue will be generate, and then mesoderm onwards connective tissue and muscular tissue will generate muscular tissue. One more tissue is there na, epithelial tissue. That epithelial tissue will generate from the either ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. Any one of the germinal layer onwards epithelial tissue will develop. Now understand? So these are the 3 layers condition we called as a gastrulation. 3 germinal layer condition we called as a gastrulation. This word is enough. Second year 12th standard you will get it. What is a gastrulation? When it will come embryonic development of the human being I will tell. Up to that wait nana. Okay, now in this time just this ecto meso endodermal layer triploblastic condition. In that triploblastic condition we called as a gastrulation. From these 3 germinal layers onwards these epithelial, nervous, connective tissue, muscular. What about endoderm? Endoderm will form the gut, our alimentary canal. Now got it na? One more time I am repeating nana. In this wise, in this diagram wise, ectoderm onwards nervous tissue will form. Along with nervous tissue, epithelial tissue also will form. Mesoderm onwards connective tissue, muscular tissue will form. Then that onwards again epithelial tissue, because of either any one of the embryonic layers. play an important role in the formation of epithelium. And then next endothelium onwards the gut will form, along with the gut epithelial layer. So this is the understanding wise these diagrams should be useful to you. Finally, a human body or advanced organisms body made up of these 4 type of tissues alone. Got it now? Now in this video, along with these animal tissue introduction, I will start about epithelial tissue characteristic. Epithelial tissue characteristics. See here epithelial tissue. That epithelial tissue, dear students, epithelial tissues. In this epithelial tissue, epi means upon, thelium means growing or outer covering. This epithelial tissue will be transfer forming from either ecto, meso and endo. This epithelial tissue is composing with cells and then extracellular matrix. Basically any tissue is made up of these two. Now here extracellular matrix is very less or absent, maximum chances absent. So extracellular matrix, except that one cells, these cells are tightly closed together. So when they are tightly closed together, that will be attached to one by one. Okay, that will be intracellular cementing substances. Cement means it will give the attachment substances. Here bricks also attached with the help of the cement. So intracellular cementing substances. Now that intracellular cementing substances we call it junctions. Okay, that junctions, specialized junctions are 3 types. One is the tight junction, another one the desmosome, next gap junction. These tight junctions are, they are tightly packed, cells are tightly packed to prevent the leakage of body fluids. Just think about urinary bladder or sweat glands, those are having a lot of fluids. So that fluids should not leakage from their places. So that's why these tight junctions are present to prevent the leakage of the body fluids. Example, sweat glands and plasma membranes. And then desmosomes. In the desmosomes, it is nothing but rivet, nothing but these board want to fixing in the wall. Now what we want to do in this corner and in this middle, and then in this corner, that corner, this corner and middle, if you fix the rivets or bolt, it will fix. As like these desmosomes are attached to 2 things, especially in the muscle cells, to anchoring or rivets. Okay, that rivets are made up of the one of the substance, that is a keratin. Okay, then another type gap junctions. This koncham gap irukka in between the cells. So that gaps junctions are providing the path, providing the path for movement of the something substances, whether that substances sugar or amino acids, whatever it is. Okay, because of some of the substances want to moving the one cell to another cells. Correct na? On the time these sugar and the amino acids are moving wise, these gap junctions are playing important role. Example wise I will tell, our school is bordered by the compound wall. Okay, by the compound wall no one is not to enter the inside, but the compound wall having the entry and exit places. By the exit entry places onwards we will enter inside and going outside. As like these gap junctions also giving the chances for cytoplasmic canals, channels. Okay, going on by the necessary situational they will enter or exit. Okay, then another thing, epithelial tissue cell structures. Okay, arrangement. These are the, if I am showing the epithelial tissues, that epithelial tissues, epithelial cells are located on the one base, that base we call the basement membrane. Epithelial tissues are rested on the one layer, that layer we called basement membrane. That basement membrane again divided into the 2 places. Okay, here I partition, here one lines keela I mentioned the lines, and upon mela I mentioned the shaded. So these two partitions we called as a upper part basal lamina, the lower part reticular lamina. Lamina means layer, the total basement membrane composing with the basal lamina, reticular lamina. Basal lamina faced into the epithelial tissue side. Okay, reticular lamina faced into the down. The down of the basement membrane, what tissue is there in a connective tissue? Now understanding wise I will tell one example. Our skin, that skin tissue is belongs to epithelial. That skin ki keela basement membrane is there. That basement membrane ki keela connective tissue. Muscle in our body. That muscle nothing but connective tissue, bone. Okay, sorry, muscle, bone. Okay, muscle, bones are there. Both bone is connective tissue, one of the. So they are taking the support from the connective tissue and muscular tissue also. Then now the thing is, these epithelial cells are avascular. Epithelial cells are avascular, no vessels, blood cells, blood supply is ille. Without blood supply, how these cells are getting nourishment? For getting nourishment, these avascular epithelial cells are depends upon the keela connective tissue is there na. These connective tissue having the lot of blood vessels, blood supply. From these connective tissue onwards, which layer is separating of epithelial tissue and connective tissue? Here basement membrane kada. Through the basement membrane, the substance particles will be enter the inside of epithelial cells. That only here I mentioned. Connective tissue onwards, the directionally nourishment particles it will reach the epithelial cells. Now these epithelial cells, if they are origin from the normal ectoderm, that is a epithelium. If these epithelial cells are origin from, developed from mesoderm, that is a mesothelium. If these epithelial cells may be origin from the endoderm, that we called as a endothelium. Now I forgot to say this one. Some of the epithelial tissues on the surface area, they are having the ridges like structures or finger like projections. In the small intestine, what it is there? Microvilli are there. Correct only na? Sometimes they are having the cilia like structures. That cilia like structures we called stereocilia. Fallopian tube is having these stereocilia. So situationally, the function of epithelia is different in the different places. So based on their functions, whether the microvilli for absorption and stereocilia for movement. Okay, fallopian tube, the movement of the ova and then zygote want to move up to uterus. For that one, stereocilia is more significant. In this video, we discussed about structure of arrangement of the epithelial tissues and epithelial tissues jointed with what type of cementum substances, tight junction, desmosomes, gap junctions. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುನ್ನಾಡಿ structural organization introduction we discussed what are the different type of tissues are present in the animal body, that we discussed.